Hi everyone and welcome so much to this video on the energies of 2024. We're pretty close now. The messages I will be sharing are channeled, and always with any kind of prediction, always take it with a grain of salt, because the more we are evolving, the more aware we become, the more we make different choices that will change timelines. And so the messages I will be giving today are around specifically two elements, and I will go into the different themes, and then I will also explain a bit about them, and I will give some advice as to how to navigate. So I hope this is helpful for you. Please share along if you find it helpful. Now, what I've said is that 2024 will be the year of the waters. And so both the oceans, water in general on the planet and in the body, emotions, which is of the element of water, and also fire and embodiment are really important themes. So I will start talking a little bit about oceans. They will be moving more the next 5 to 6 years, is what the information I've been given is saying. The ways they will be moving, or the reason why, I will be coming a bit more into as I go along in this video. One of the things is the crystals that are in the earth, because there are codes releasing from the crystals, and this is being moved around by the waters. Also the emotions in the human, and how strong that will be is also because it's the same element, so that will play both ways. When it comes to water in general, be aware of the water in your body when you're doing energy work, whether if you're a practitioner, you're working on someone else, or you're just working on your energy in your body. Really be aware of the water. Connect your body to the earth. So align your body with the water. So for example, when it's raining, use that as a help and assistance to let go, to cleanse. Work symbiotically with the nature. Your body really needs to be connected to nature. When the oceans move physically, connect deep into your root, because the movement is coming from the center of the earth. So you connecting into your root will help you center. And also when you're connecting the body or the water in your body with the water on the earth, that will help and assist you in connecting within, and also connecting your body to the earth. So it will help with your general alignment. This is really important, and it's really a remembrance, because we know that ancient tribes, for example, they had a lot of knowledge about this, and we're just starting to remember this. So it's really important not to separate the body from the planet, from the earth, because the body is of this earth. So really coming more in contact with that primarily through the water in the body, which we hold a lot of. When it comes to the element of water, what we will be experiencing a lot of is emotions. And this is nothing new, but what I'm saying is that there's like a major sort of cleansing that will be going on the next 3 to 7 years. It's something that has been going on. I mean, the most of what we do, shadow work, of becoming aware of ourselves, is really how to relate and how to work with our emotions and our thoughts. And the deeper we come, the more of what's like in the depth held within us is what we're releasing. And the human has its own way of kind of collecting emotions and like holding on, grabbing onto it, creating this whole story around it, and really attaching to it. And we have a lot of fear in general to feel our emotions. What I have been saying is that the way it will move, like nothing will change unless we relate differently to our emotions. Because as long as we are afraid of feeling our emotions, we can very easily be controlled, because we will opt out. We will avoid being in the body, and it's really embodiment that is important. And because we're moving towards being empowered and being embodied in this human vessel, we need to really face whatever emotion is held, which is not who we are, it's just an emotion that we need to feel on its way out. And embody come in. And as we're embodying, we will meet these emotions. And the way we deal with it, by not opting out, but making the decision to come back in, feel the emotion as it's moving through, is going to be really important. It has been, but it's going to be, it's like you will deal with your emotions, you will feel your emotions, or you will have problems staying in the body. This is kind of the importance, or the strength of it, I will say. The only way really is in. So the way, what I showed me is that it can feel like, in 2024, it will feel much like a tsunami on the inside. It's like there's a tsunami coming of emotions, and we can get really caught up in the tsunami, like really thrown off, and just be like taken by the water, and we don't know what's going on, and it just feels chaotic. Now, it is not really a tsunami, is what they're saying. It is really a tidal wave, but because it's strong, and we can tend to forget that we can connect through it, it can feel like a tsunami. So whenever you feel that really huge wave of emotion, come back in, find a stillness, and go in the direction of connecting with your heart, even when it feels really, really challenging, and you feel that, oh, I just lost all kind of center point. Just go in the direction of it. Because as the tsunami sort of keeps going, we can connect through it, because we are the awareness watching the emotion. And the more we can go into the heart and ground into the body, and just remind ourselves, no matter how much we believe in the emotion and how challenging it is in the moment of the experience, the more we can just watch it, connect into our heart, the more it will really help us to connect and not be thrown around. And that will also create less division, because that's something we are seeing. It almost probably should have been an on point in this video, that separation, the division between people, which is also, you know, a lot of the so-called awakened community judging and separating themselves from the so-called unawakened. And it's really about the awakening of the heart. It's really about connecting to other humans, connecting to other animals, connecting to plants, to trees. It is about being in this body. That's really the way of awakening. And the path of empowerment is really the path we're walking, which I will come back to a bit later in this video. What I said is that once caught up in an inner tsunami, blurring the vision of the horizon, the human will need assistance. Many humans will be caught in the illusion of that inner tsunami, taking out the inner flame. And what this means is that once we believe that this is a tsunami and that we have lost our center point, we can think that we have lost the connection with our inner fire, which is really the life force energy. This is where we really need to be very compassionate humans in the time coming, because there will be a lot of people believing or feeling, having the experience of losing the connection to their own inner fire, and then the desire to keep living will be quite small for those in that experience. So being compassionate, remembering that as the wave of emotion is moving through the human, it's really about the clearing, it's really about embodying, it's really about coming back in, and those those consciousnesses, those traumas that we hold in our bodies are moving out. But as that is going on, helping each other, being centered, being in the heart, and choosing to come back in, having someone to sit with you if you're moving through challenging emotions. If you know someone who's moving through it, sit with them, hold the space, and let it clear. If most energy is outside of the body, so this can happen through, for example, fragmentation of the psyche through or during a trauma, then it's so challenging to be in the body, so we split the psyche and we fragment. It can be escapism from not wanting to feel the current experience or an experience from a trauma, for example. There will be an exit, so there will be an uptake, most probably, in the numbers of suicides and other exits. So the work we really need to do is to come to the point of less war within ourselves. And once we believe the emotion to be true, once we believe the thought or the belief around the emotion to be true, we think it's something about ourselves, and then we are in war with ourselves. So anything, any practice, anything that can lessen that war within is the walk we are going. And this is why it's shown also as these tsunamis and as a lot of emotions, because as we keep moving, we need to release this, because we are receiving a lot of light, and this light needs a grounded body. A very well-grounded human body can receive and can move more light through the body. It's because that body will have a more balanced central nervous system. And that is what is moving the charge around. Both the water in the body and the central nervous system is moving the charge from the light coming in through the body. And that will need space. That will need that we have tools of how to deal with stress, for example. Because these things that makes us want to go out of the body, those are what we need to meet now with a lot of compassion and come back in. So there will be triggers for this to release. So this is why we have to feeling ourselves through 2024. That is really, like, if you get one thing from this video, feel everything through 2024. It is the fear of feeling whatever is held in our bodies that creates the resistance to actually be in the body. And that fear is really the main fear of the human to become aware of. That is hopefully one of the awarenesses we will really come to on a collective level this coming year. And when we have awareness of it, we can make a different choice. We can change a pattern. We can choose to feel something we would previously avoid. Let me just check my notes. There is so much. Okay, let's move on to fire. So the fire, the inner fire, which is the creative energy, the Kundalini energy, the life force, the sexual energy, that is starting to awaken. And what I have said is, as it looks now, 2024 is like the year of water, and then fire will be more on for 25. But fire is one of the main topics also for 24, because as more and more fire within starts to awaken, starts to be active in the human, it is changing a lot of how the energy works. Or how the energy flows. So tend to your flame, because that is what activates your core. So when you feel inspired, for example, do something with it. I mean, watch whatever is holding you back, what you're telling yourself, you know, all those stories about why you can't do it, or why you're not good enough, or you're not talented to do this thing, or you don't know how to do this thing, or whatever. Move in the direction of it. It's really, really important to tend to this inner flame. That inner fire is also very helpful because it's burning away old programs, distortions, held emotions, all of that we just talked about. This fire and the emotions releasing will be so, like it's so much energy moving in that it can also create disturbances in the magnetic field. So it can really, it will probably be seen physically as well. And that is also one of the parts that will physically move the ocean. So we will have more movement, both of the oceans and of the earth. That means earthquakes, that means the oceans are actually moving. That's a different thing than the emotion within that I said is feeling like a tsunami, but it's really only a tidal wave because the tides are shifting. So the oceans will move, the earth will be moving, and we will have really huge waves of emotion that we have to find a still point and be in and feel as it's moving through, because it's a massive clearing for us to come into our own power. That is the fire. The fire within is really the fire within will not rise if you choose to not be in your body. So it's all interconnected, right? When you're in your body, you will experience what's held in the body on its way out. So then we remember that we're not it. When we are in... Okay, let me just see, because they're coming in right now. Okay, we're going there. Okay. The fear is mainly held in the root. Okay, so the more we ground, the more we come into the body, the more we connect our body to the earth, as I talked about in the beginning of this video, we start to come into the sacral, where we have that sacral energy, that life force energy. And then we have the solar plexus, which is really clearing. This has to do with identity, with empowerment, or power over. It depends on this level of distortion. There is a lot of healing, a lot of clearing in the solar plexus going to happen over the next few years. When this happens, this is really what they have told me is the path into what we call the new earth, what we call 5D. Because when our life force energy is moving, it starts really being more, much more powerful, because we have been feeling whatever has been holding it back, right? And so it starts rising through a balanced, healthy, empowered solar plexus. Then all that energy coming into the heart and being expressed, that is what the fire is doing. That is a whole new level of heart opening that we will be seeing on this planet. They said that this is what we will be seeing over the next 7 years on this planet. The heart openings, I will just read this one sentence from one of the channelings. The heart openings that will happen on this planet when solar plexus activates is what you call the new earth. So the path towards 5D, towards new earth, whatever term you want to use on it, is really the path of empowerment. Because that is an alignment when we clear all those distortions held, because then there's so much more of our energy that can actually move, and that will express in a whole different way than what we have seen on this planet for so many years. The new earth, or the 5D human, if if we want to call it that, is not a programmed good person with an open heart or being in the heart. It's really a fully activated, creative and empowered, also in the sacral and the solar plexus. So fully activated, creative and empowered being, allowing the fire to rise through the heart and express. That is the empowered, loving human that you are evolving into being. So sinking in, allowing and observing is going to be really, really important. I will probably talk a lot about, I have been talking a lot about presence. It's been the deepest practice for me throughout 23, and it's definitely helpful for setting me up for 24, and it's probably something I'm going to talk a lot more about throughout 24. There will also be, I will mention this as well, a lot more mental energy in the collective field for the next couple of years. So again, when caught up in that mental energy, it's about coming back in, finding the breath to really come into the body. So I want to mention some things. I've been talking a bit about it now while I went through the themes, but I will also just mention it kind of like a list for you guys. Some tips as to how to navigate it while we're in the year 024. So, as I said, a well-grounded body can move more light through the body. So grounding is super important. Being in nature, having our feet on the ground, doing grounding exercises, bringing your breath through the body into the earth, really connecting. And connecting, aligning the waters in the body with the waters on the planet. And also, of course, then dealing with the emotions. But that grounding is really, really important. Center yourself also in the heart. So we ground the body, we come into the root, we come all the way with our energy through the earth star into the earth. And we also really connect and sink into the heart. Then it's embodiment, which is connected to all of this. It is to make the choice to come back in. It is to make the choice to actually be in your body, feel your own field, and not opt out or keep opting out. And also not judging yourself when you find yourself opting out, because that's creating further separation. So being aware also of that self-judgment and self-criticism, obviously. But making that choice to be with whatever is coming up and coming back into the body. Moving your body, it loves moving. Breathing, being present with it. And then that takes me right over to the next point, which is presence. So being present with whatever is. So often we get caught up in trying to fix something, we are going to heal this thing, we have to change something, and that comes from a point of resistance. And when we come from a point of resistance, then we are not really moving the energy. Then we are opposing the energy that we want to move. So staying in presence, allowing whatever is, it can be really challenging at times, but the deeper we can come into presence, the quicker something will move and the more empowered you will be, because the more you will also be able to be transparent, come into your authentic self, and not be in a mode of reacting or projecting or trying to avoid or pretend or putting up a facade. So the more present you can be with what is, the more you also allow your system, your nervous system, as we also talked about, to calm down. The more you allow for the energies coming in, for the light to move in your body, and the more you allow for yourself to actually get connected with your fire and to express. Feel everything, remember that, feel everything. Feel your way through 2024 and create. When we find that inner fire starting to really you know, whether it's just like just a bit of buzzing or whether it's like really full force on, create, whatever it is, go into creation mode. So many of us have, you know, grown up believing that we're not creative because we can't. This one creative thing that we heard someone was called creative by doing or being talented in. The more we just let go of those programs, because we all have creative energy, and it's in the ways that we are talented, that we are designed to use our creativity, that we will help and change this world. So whenever you feel that energy rising and moving in your body, use it. That is actually your own alignment, so don't work against that. Now, one thing that will help us through 2024 as well is to make decisions. Decision making can be very challenging. I certainly know that, but that is one thing that we can sort of have with us as a point as well through 2024, because that will help us move and not hold on to whatever wave is moving through us. And then remember to be in water. Immerse your body in water, whether that is in the shower, whether it's in a lake, in the ocean, going out in the rain, because your body will get a lot of help from being in water. I wish you a great 2024 with growth, with lots of laughter, new experiences. I hope you will have a great year. I would love to hear in the comments your experience with this video. And thank you to everyone who's liking, sharing and subscribing. That really helps. So I will see you much more in 2024. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you soon. Bye bye.